Reframing Mindset podcast, where I clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity, practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day.
Okay, welcome back to the Frame Mindset Podcast. My name is Connor Superman, and this is the episode. I guess it's a universal lesson for you watching and stuff like that. And stuff like that. And I talk about career and luxury and stuff like that. And what I realize is that, you know, back when I just took the picture, it will get to me now. But as I actually go get older and stuff like that, actually try to do something, leave something back, or give something back. And what I realized was it can't tell if it was on my part or on the cause that's the thing. Sometimes you have my natural personality and then you have the company stuff where you be like, oh yeah, where at some point where be like, yeah, I, yeah, we are busy be like, oh yeah, it will be the company's fault or something like that. But a mistake like this could actually bring down our quality or something. So it's like boom, so I talk about my you actually listen to the podcast or something like that. I'm always trying to make my way out of the situation that I was in. That was basically part of the reason for the podcast. Made the situation was out of where I was. So that's the thing where like people come in now and see out there so winning. They don't remember the losing stage. They don't remember those stage when you weren't. So they see the glory, but or they don't understand the story or stuff like that. That's more be like okay, coming a black person coming like, oh my god, black oppression and stuff like that, and to a white person be like, oh just like every time coming, growing up, they'll be like, oh, I have big ears, so I'm gonna be rich. So everybody assumes that I'm going to be rich. So a person that is naturally come with a poor mindset, come with a so that's the thing where it be like standards, big, big, big university student graduates, but you're still acting like a person from the nothing is wrong. Not that is not sense in the sense that hey, we have a slow start. But standards sort of thing. So basically what happened was that, based on me on the journey to take my graduation picture, I realized when I got the picture, I graduated 2018, but the the picture says 2021. At that time it would make a sense now. But as I go get older, stuff like I guess this is a mistake for this is my mistake that happened that I guess future people can avoid. No, they'll be like, okay, yeah, this my university is still at its growing stage. It wasn't a Harvard or stuff like that growing up here, but the prestigious thing like that. So back in those times, you hear the prestigiousness of the universe. And that's the you hear the prestigiousness of a place. No, but no, don't know where it was. It seemed like the Harvard, growing up, I would hear about the prestigiousness of Harvard, of great Bill Gates and Zuckerberg. But before then, before even those two, they were in their growing stage, and then even though after those two, they make their impact, and then it grows and stuff like reputation grows and stuff like that. So like with everything, just like that. What happened is that college, university is an experience for a person underprivileged to actually go upgrade themselves and then push themselves forward. That is what a university is for you to actually go there and actually push yourself forward. So what will happen, is that at this point in time, my complaints about my when I so you hear me sounding happy back then about getting the picture. But now I could actually go and complain and say, oh, it did not say 2018 when I actually requested 2018 and stuff like that. I can make that complaint now. I don't know if it would be rectified or not. But knowing that now it'd be like, okay, yeah. this to actually keep up the reputation of the thing or make it more credible. And that's the thing where be like, I come from a country filled with crime. And because it's filled with crime, they can't do something like travel to certain places as a luxury. I'm like, okay, yeah. And then people and it's like, yeah, at some point being the crime boss and stuff like that, it's actually a net negative to the people around you than a net positive. You have to actually be like, okay, you're changing this stuff now. You're actually changing this stuff and be like, yeah, becoming accredited. We're actually not becoming this. We're moving out of the ghetto lifestyle is actually not making us. We are they're trying to go forward. So that's the thing where be like, oh, I can leave the University of the West Indies and be like, oh my God, I see the great Elon Musk and stuff like that. If I leave the prestigious university the young time back then, I supposed to be able to be competent enough to go to the leading industry or stuff like that. But due to constraints of my reality, we are from. And just like him as well, he was due to the constraint of where he was at the time. He was limited by the time and stuff like that, and his reality. Same thing us with and us reality. So that's the thing. I'd be like, oh, they see we're winning now, but they don't know the struggling phase. You don't know those struggling phase. So you'd be like, oh my god. And so what happened now is that there's a complaining in 2025 about something we will praise in 2021. And it's like, yeah, because uh, speaking about the episode, it'd be like certain luxury, certain privilege now is a luxury to others now. So that was that 2021 picture was hard to sustain, but I made it to 2025 so I can complain now. So that I have the privilege to complain now. I don't have the I don't know if I have the means to change it, but hey, I have the means to complain about it now. And then boom, once it get rectified and stuff like that, then it'll be like, yeah, we can actually get then it come back and it's like, yeah. But it's good to have these things documented to say, yeah. Things like that happen, things like that happen when be like you the goal was to get it done. Goal was to prove the thing right. Say, okay, goal was to get a university degree, Then no, we get the university degree no to actually prove that the thing works. Prove that the thing works. So that was the use of the picture was to actually prove that it actually works. You can get you somewhere. You get you somewhere. You get it through the door somewhere, and it's like you know, or get through the door somewhere. Now you get through the door somewhere now you actually can go out and be like, oh, you realize that okay, now you're actually somebody now you can go out and make complaints. You can actually go and make complaints about certain stuff, and based on your power, you can actually make a change. And be like, okay, yeah. So that's the thing where be like, okay, I'm complaining about something now. And you're gonna realize that oh, I'm the 1% complaining about the night. I'm at the 1% complaining about something that the 99% doesn't care about. But if I don't make that complaint, when the 99% reach here, they would actually have the same problem. Like they have something similar problems like me. So if me actually go through it, make the complaint, the future person will come in now and actually pass through this phase and it's so seamless. I'm like, oh my god, this university is so prestigious and stuff like that. But don't realize that yeah, those growing phases, yeah, we actually went through those phases now. So you don't actually so that's the reason why I be like, oh, you come from a family or something. So now in 2021 or something like that, they see me with a picture and be like graduating class of 13 or stuff like that. Maybe if I look at my mother's or family's graduation picture or something like that, they didn't even have a graduating class of nothing, bro. They didn't even have that. They wasn't even dreaming of that at the time. Or stuff. So that's the thing where be like, oh, yeah, we're actually I work for the privilege of actually able to complain about certain stuff, because what will happen is that back in the days, just even attaining the stuff was a dream. So just attaining the are due to realities of that time, due to realities of that time, or due to how you were at that time. That's you, and that's you can't change, or I guess you can, but you can't you have to be to get certain stuff. You have to be someone else. So once you're naturally not that person, certain stuff will just pass you by and be like, oh, the opportunity to pass you by or something like that. Boom, going forward in a competent business, you'll be like, okay, yeah, those stuff won't pass you by. Like, yeah, we understand say, oh, this is the natural a situation like this now. Like, okay, yeah, somewhere accredited. We'll be like, yeah, the situation don't pass by. The type of people that we get that reach here, and that's the thing when we're trying 18, 15, you learn a reality. Oh, these are certain people that come here. These are the type of people that come here. The universities are 1% for a reason. It's a reason why you don't see the 99% for a reason. It's like, oh, yeah. So when you get the 99%, you have to actually cater to the 99 to the when you get the 1%, I should say, you should actually cater to the 1%. So when the 1% leave, they feel like the 1%. That's the thing. They feel like the 1%. If you actually just come in and be like, oh my god, treat the 1% at 99%. Be like, why the hell I'm spending so a mil just to become the 99% again? Or stuff like that. Why the hell I'm spending $1 million just to become a 99% again? And it's like, these are the questions people ask. And it's like, these are, I guess, legit questions of the time, but yeah, these are legit questions of the time. But and that's the thing where I be like, oh, if I don't have the answer, it makes sense. I don't. If I don't have the answer, it don't make sense out there. So, that's the thing we call planning. The plan in the episode, the planning phase is actually very important. The planning phase, because all these situations, that we out here is complaining about, and it's like, are people complaining about, oh, big university degrees can't get a job and stuff like, oh, blah 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 blah. The planning phase, that's actually the most important part. Like, oh, the planning, you know. Alright. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, the planning phase is actually the most important part. So it's like sometimes I record this episode, and the good thing for the podcast is that I'm naturally not that. Or what will happen is that you see me talk about something now, but in real life you'll be like, oh my god, it's so stupid that I regurgitate in real life, because by the time I so now you hear me this episode now, by the time I come out, by the time this episode come out, you answer all these questions now that actually out there I've been getting for years, for years. And be like, oh my god, for years. And it's like, and they start complaining about it, and be like, yeah, we've been getting this question for years, So it's like we are actually answering it. We just that we ain't balling like that and stuff like that. And at the same time, sometimes we could be balling like that, and it's like, because we're balling like that, we don't even have time to answer the question. But sometimes, if you listen to some of these episodes now, these things actually happened to me, but I didn't have time to actually record it. So it'd be like, oh my god, maybe I actually died, but I'm just coming back now to actually tell you that, actually record that, yeah, we actually died. We actually died in that situation, so don't do it. That's the thing where I'd be like, the the podcast will tell you that, hey, don't do this, don't end like this. We're actually trying to end better. So actually listening. So that's the thing where I'd be like, some of the episode is what happened after the fact. So you're seeing the emperor. So that's the reason why that picture for me, that picture with that 2021 when it's supposed to say 2018 that I graduated is relevant. Or the fact that okay, no, I'm comfortable saying oh the lower division and stuff like that because what happened? This wouldn't happen. This podcast wouldn't happen if it all changed. You would even hear me on the podcast. We see me out there's a teaching of a whole bunch of students of what prestigious you hear after I took this after I see me out there so talking on that podcast and stuff like it's me illustrious. It's me out there say illustrious. But what happened was that life wasn't illustrious. Life threw some curveballs. Life threw some curveballs, and now you hear me in 2025 saying this. You hear me saying this. You have to actually come back, and that's the thing where be like, oh, like you have to go out and actually, yeah. These things are in 2025. No, these things that I'm complaining about. Ideally, I stuff that I actually have to go out and actively seek answers to. And when I find the answers, that's the reason why I say, okay, you need time. Uh, you need time. These things don't happen overnight or stuff like that. These things don't happen overnight just like that. You just need time to actually get the ball rolling. And even when the ball starts to roll, I talk about log fees and exponential fees, log fees. Everything is start off slow, then have exponential growth, and you get higher in your supply at that point. You get higher in supply. Then I reach the what you call it, the log fees and stuff like that, and then boom, that's where it plateaus and you're out there. So then you get the same complaint from the same people again. Oh my God, why this? Because bro, we weren't here before. We weren't. No, we can actually give you a better answer. We don't give you the answer yet, but we actually have someone better than before. We still don't have the answer yet, but we actually have a better answer than before. And that's why you have trickle up economics now. You have trickle up economics and all these stuff where we're like, okay, the bottom got a better answer now. The bottom got a better answer. So because of that now, the top now can actually say something better. The top is up there still complaining. Still out there to being the first world country is always still out there to being the first world country. But we actually got somewhere now. We actually get more competent. So that's where we remember that, oh yeah, first world, the top will always be the top, bro. And the richer is getting richer, bro. But hey, poor doesn't always have to get poor. We can actually rise. Yeah, so that's basically for this episode. Where we're like, I think this episode was about something that I actually forgot. Something that I actually forgot. Let me just check and see if it's actually what I was talking about. Oh yes, it actually wasn't what I was talking about. It was actually about something else. Let me remember what I was actually talking about. The topic was about something. And that's the reason, you actually come in and see this episode and see podcast episode and be like, oh my God, I'm going to learn about this episode real quick. And actually I click it and hear me like, oh my God, this person didn't even remember what he was talking about. Yeah, so we're out this lecturing. So we're out there lecturing, bro. So yeah. This episode was on something. So we actually made the point. So we're actually gonna stop it, and then by the time it's released, you actually know what episode name. And it's like, okay, yeah.
Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/cssb/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page, Reframing Mindset Podcast, or on Twitter @ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.